Hey, welcome back to the tune-up. I didn't want to do a title card intro. I didn't want to do anything too hype. It's a big occasion. Don't get me wrong. This is huge. You know, I've been talking about this for a cool minute. But I wasn't expecting to jump back into filming so soon. A lot of you know I was affected by the Mac situation, and I definitely am still gonna be making that video. I'm not ready to do it yet. And I figured that it'd be long enough, and I'm not gonna edit this either. I'm just talking straight up. What I will edit will be the reaction, but this is kind of just the format I want to go about with the Mac video that I'm doing. But yeah, I wasn't ready to film. I haven't been ready to film. I haven't wanted to film anything, and you know, it's been a massive personal toll. So this is kind of just the beginning of what I'm going to talk about when I get to my Mac video, but I don't want to do anything too hype because I wasn't expecting to have to do this. But you know, people just drop. Time waits for no man. So like I've been talking about, Eminem is not an opponent you want in beef. I'm seeing reactions all over the internet. I've only had like 2 people say that they didn't like it, but majority, like 98%, are saying that it's over. And this is Eminem we're talking about, so I'm gonna have to just get into it right here, right now. So, no more sad stuff. Without further ado, let me get into this Eminem response to Mr. MGK. This is Killshot from Slim Shady, aka Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem.
Rihanna just hit me on a text. Last night I left hickeys on her neck.
Ooh!
How you gonna name yourself after a damn gun and have a man bun? Slim your roll now, Kelly, ooh, but I'm 45 and I'm still out selling you. By 29, I got 3 albums in blue. Know your facts before you come at me, little goof. It's funny but so true. I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old you. Till I'm hitting old age, got more fans than you in your own city. Little kitty, go play. Feel like I'm babysitting low tay. Got the ditty okay, so this bitch a whole day. Shooting if I'm the Philly goat. You ain't never made a list. Next to no Biggie, no J, next to Taylor Swift. And that Iggy hole, you about to really blow. My biggest flops are your greatest hits. The game's mine again. And
Ooh! Wait. Oh my goodness. Oh. Man, I told you not to play with this man. I told you not to play with this man. The last man that mentioned Eminem's daughter, you know, next to Ja Rule, ooh, we don't talk about him anymore. His career is done. This further touches on what he was talking about in the Sway interview. Like, you know, MGK isn't mentioned in the conversation when he and other greats talk about MCs. And, you know, me and my boy now we're talking, like, Jay-Z mentioned Mac Miller, rest his soul. That's something that has to take a toll mentally with MGK, who, you know, is very, very confident in his abilities. And, you know, he's talking like he's the greatest and talking like he does that. And he's definitely done great things, but, you know, like my boy now said, he doesn't have an OG cosign besides Diddy, which G-Eazy picked apart in his diss track. So, you know, they get into the truth of the matter, which is a very vital thing that you got to do in diss tracks, which is why I Felt Charged Up was so hard when Drake was coming at people like, you know, I see you niggas having trouble going gold, turn it into some so-and-sos that no one knows. Like, Drake goes gold in a day sometimes. Like, he'll go gold either in the first week or the first day. Who knows? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy when they get to what's really gonna make you think about something. Like, yeah, you can pop off on a diss track, but when you get to the truth of the matter, like how they get into it, and I think he said, my biggest flops are your greatest hits, like, that's another line with some gravity to it. Like, I know people are always looking for like exposés and ooh, he said this, that, and the third, but like when you get to the truth of the matter, like when you say some stuff that's gonna hurt and sting in the long run,
So enjoy it. Had to give you a career to destroy it. You look up to me, and for the record, you would suck a dick.
Oh. Oh, that's so foul. Oh. I'm gonna just listen to the rest of the song. Wow. Wow. Wow.
I'll give you a beat for the effort, but if I was 3'11", you look up to me, and for the record, you would suck a dick to fucking be me for a second. So what good is a fucking machine gun when it's out of ammo? Had enough of this tatted up mumble rapper. How the fucking him and I battle? He'll have to fuck Kim in my flannel. You're fucking salty, cause young Gerald's balls deep inside a Halsey. Kells, attempt, fails, button, L's. Kells, the day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got pop kill, ah? I'm sick of you being wet, so just leave my dick in your mouth and keep my daughter out of you fucking... Oh, and I'm just playing, Diddy. You know I love you.
I mean, but what else is there to say? I told people. I told them, and I tried to tell them. They weren't trying to hear me. Nobody really is ever trying to hear me these days, but whatever. I tried to tell people, this is not an enemy you want to make. This is not a problem you want to have. And I don't see how that can be called anything less than great when there's stuff to really unpack. Like, if we even take it further back with other diss records, Hit 'Em Up, Tupac was dropping a lot of truth in that song. He was fabricating on some parts, but 5 shots couldn't drop me. I took it and smiled. Now I'm about to set the record straight with my I'm still a thug that you love to hate, motherfucker. I hit him up. Like, he took 5 shots and said, "Oh, I took that and smiled." Because he felt like they put a hit out on him, so he was getting to what he felt his truth was. I don't think, like, that's why the Diddy line is very interesting, and I'm like, oof, that's something else to unpack. But for the sake of just MGK and Eminem, when Tupac said, "Biggie, remember when I used to let you sleep on the couch? I begged a bitch to let you sleep in the house." Like, going into the archives of the relationship that they had, they were cool at one point, and then, shit went left. Same thing with No Vaseline. There's a lot of truth. When Ice Cube brought Jerry Heller into the situation and went at how everything was being handled behind the scenes, it made the diss sting that much more. Same situation with Story of Adidon, with Pusha T. We all didn't know Drake had a kid. He did. He exposed that. The diss stung. It lingered. Now everybody always wants to talk about Drake's kid. Drake himself had to address it on the record. Imagine if we hadn't known that, we might have gotten a different Scorpion. Scorpion's still fire to me, but the album would have been 20 times different had the beef never happened. I feel. I think it still would have been dope, but we probably would have got eased into that announcement a lot more gently than how it was given to us in the visceral form via Pusha T's diss. So I think for me, when diss records harp on truth and harp on behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about, because we the listeners, we just get what's given to us at face value. It's up to us to pick apart what's going on and what they're trying to get to us with the diss records. So the same reason why I really enjoy Bad Boy by G-Eazy so much is because there's so much truth to the matter of what he was talking about there. With why is it me, not you, that's sitting ringside next to Puff? Puff is the guy that signed you. Puff is supposed to be your guy. Why is French Montana getting more play than MGK? Like, harping on stuff like that, it makes it kind of hard to contest that when you're the one being attacked. When you're the one that's in the crosshairs and they're sending shots at you like that, it's hard to come off that and then get back at them with something. Like, you can say 10 times over, because people already do that in hip-hop now, how many times that you fucked my girl, this, that, and the third, and, oh, you know, she went to me after she had you lame, da-da-da-da, whatever. That is tired. But if you go at somebody for however their money is set up, or, you know, real life stuff, like how Ja mentioned Haley, and, you know, how Busta, 50, and Eminem all got at Ja Rule. You know, like, the whole culture and the manner of diss records is to really make your opponent look stupid, to really make them look foolish. You're really just roasting over a beat. But the more that you can clown them, but with truth, with actual stinging lines that's going to sit with your opponent, that's going to give you your edge. That's the main reason Back to Back went so crazy, because of what Drake was talking about. You love it, then you got to get a world tour. Is that a world tour or your girl's tour? I know that you got to be a thug for. This ain't what she meant when she told you to open up more. Yeah, trigger fingers turned to Twitter fingers. Like, stop the record right there. All that jaw jacking and all that typing, keyboard thugging, that was the nature of it before we got the one and no response. Shout out to them squashing the beef, but the truth of the matter was, all the talk was being done on Twitter. Nothing was being said on wax, nothing was being said digitally, nothing was being said on the record. So Drake said, oh, you from Philly, you rap like you killers and this, that, and third. So your trigger fingers, I see, are now Twitter fingers, because all you're doing is talking on Twitter. It's the same thing with how Pusha got at Drake. Like, you know, let's talk about it, man. You know, you want to come at my wife? Okay, I'm going to come for you and your kid. Oh, that's right. The world doesn't know about that. The world knows I'm married, but the world doesn't know that you have a kid. Now they know because of me. I got you on that. Now what are you going to say? So I think while MGK had a very, very good attempt on getting at Eminem, and I talked about this with a lot of people too, like, he had some great lines towards the end, but the basis of it was that he was old. And, you know, ageism is just getting so tired in hip-hop. And I have a video coming out about it soon, about how I feel about the new wave and stuff like that. But the age jokes and the age topic in and of itself is very tired to me. And, you know, it's funny and it's cool to get at Marshall for that. But I think he really came into the diss towards the end of it, when he really started, you know, going at his throat. And he, you know, he had a nice little hook, and, you know, he made it catchy. But I think the basis of it was just, you know, you're washed and I'm not. And, you know, seeing that g-eazy brought to the forefront, if it wasn't already known, that, you know, he just finished headlining a tour and MGK was opening for Fall Out Boy. Again, that's a stinging diss. That's a stinging line. You can't really say you better than somebody when you the opening act for somebody else. You can't really come out and say this, that, and third and talk crazy when you're not even the main person that people are there to see. So with Eminem saying, you know, I had to give you a career to destroy it, that's a crazy line. That's a bar. A lot of people see Machine Gun Kelly as a very tepid artist, and a lot of people see him as somebody that, you know, like G mentioned, popped off 6 years ago. You know, I've always had love for MGK. I've always supported him. I told you, Trap Paris was my jam. And the Bloom album was dope. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very, I thought it was solid as hell. There's a lot of great tracks on there. And I told you, I wasn't really feeling General Admission that much. And, you know, Lace Up was good. And that's definitely the best that I've heard him. Most versatile, all that. But, again, when you look at the numbers, and everybody wants to talk about sales don't matter, but sales also translate to demand, you know. If something sells 847,000 copies the first week, it's high in demand. That means people want to hear it. People want to go and get it. It does 700 million streams. People are listening to that shit. When Drake's album, when Scorpion was being streamed 10 million times an hour on Spotify, it's the hot ticket. People want to hear it. Regardless how you feel about it, the numbers are in. Everybody's going to have their opinion after they hear it. Sure, whatever. But you can't tell me that somebody's album that's doing 10 million streams on the hour, you can't tell me that's not impact and that's not power. You can't tell me that doesn't matter. If it didn't matter, people wouldn't talk about it. People wouldn't mention that you know, Eminem is the only rapper to go diamond twice if it didn't matter. We wouldn't talk about these things. We wouldn't mention them if they didn't matter. You have to talk about sales. You have to mention it. You can always be like, well, you know, sales doesn't always mean that the album was better. Yeah, it doesn't. But it does mean that people went out and bought it. It does mean that people went out and supported it. More so than whatever else you're talking about. And less so than whatever else we're comparing it to. So, I mean, I think the heat of this really just comes down to how much the diss is going to sting and linger. Because listening to how he was talking about MGK in the interview with Sway and how, you know, he and other OGs don't mention his name like that, that's gotta be something that burns. More so than anything else. He touched on that in the diss a couple times, and I respect that because, like I said, you're trying to make your opponent look foolish. And that's one way to do it. If you can really get to the root of the culture, because, you know, he's doing what he's doing. He's playing guitar. He's an artist. He does it all. He can rap, he play guitar. He does it all. He's a great dad to his daughter and everything. But if you can really get to, you know, everybody that does anything worth sharing with the world, whether it be rapping, acting, painting, whatever it is, when it's all said and done, they want to go down as somebody that's respected. So for Eminem and G-Eazy to both get at him for that front, saying that he's not mentioned, he's not relevant in that category and in that stand space, that's crazy. That's something that's gonna linger. You can say this, that, and the third about the other parties involved, and you know, you can send your shots at me if you want, but it really, really comes down to what are people gonna think about afterwards. And I think with Eminem's long history with beefs, certain lines are going to stick out and definitely going to make people think. And now, you know, they're going to make people think like, oh, well, yeah, you know, he did pop off in 2012 and, you know, it's been different since. You know, Till I Die went platinum recently, which is great. Shout out to him for that. But, you know, the main fact of what G brought to the light of him opening up for Fall Out Boy. And I knew Fall Out Boy was on tour. I didn't think they had an opening act. And then to hear it was MGK, I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. I didn't know. I didn't even think MGK would want to do that show. But that was a very interesting revelation. And again, it's to quote Meek Mill, it's levels to the shit. So I definitely want to say the evil nature of Eminem just really going at the heart of the matter as opposed to, you know, doing wordsmith shit and rhyming really, really fast and all that. I think he took the right approach and the dominant approach really as the bigger artist and the OG really saying what he had to say and really going at him for how he's seen as a whole. Not only is he replying to your diss track, but he's also coming for you as an artist entirely. And that, I feel, is just insanely powerful for his diss. And it really, really sits with you and just makes you dissect the whole nature of it, you know? The fact that Eminem and G-Eazy have that picture together. And G-Eazy real petty with it. I'm going to put the picture right here. G-Eazy petty with it. Like, yo, when it posted the picture talking about, let's talk about it. So, I feel like, you know, people can say what they want about, you know, delivery, this, that, and third, but please pay attention to what's being said because that is a phenomenal diss record. That's not only is it dope with how it's been crafted and, you know, it's very modern. It sounds like it would, you know, go crazy in the club now, but it's very thought out, very, very methodic. And, you know, there's a purpose to everything he's saying. Like, he's really trying to hurt his feelings with this, which is what Eminem is known for. So, Eminem, my guy, that's the one, Chief. Well worth the wait, I must say. So that's going to do it for this bonus episode. Like Like I said, I haven't wanted to film, haven't been up to film, but I will be doing my Mac tribute very soon. You'll be getting the videos very soon. If you didn't see my tweets, suggestion session will be back in November. Trench is out in 3 weeks. Bunch of stuff. Carter 5 next week, apparently. What? That's gonna be crazy. I know none of you care, but I'll be seeing Drake, Beyonce, and Childish Gambino in coming weeks. I may be going to Flog. No, I don't know. So, you know, I'll document that. And yeah, merch on the way. The site is almost done. We're live, but I'm still adding content to it so you can check out the written reviews. And yeah, there's a lot on the way. So again, thank you for watching. I hope to be back to my usual self very soon so that the videos are more fun to watch. But yeah, that's gonna do it for right now. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. The Home 9, you know the biz, you know what it is. Jared O'Brien, that's Spider-Man. Go get the game, it's fire. And I'm out.